Hello and very warm welcome everyone. This is Marta from Drop of Sunshine. Welcome back, my friends. Today, unfortunately, I had to change my plans a little bit. I'm now gonna be posting this YouTube recording video, the one I had in plan in the series, but I've been absolutely ill for the entire week, and I just didn't manage to film everything I wanted to show you in that video, so I will be moving this video till the next week. In meantime, I received a copy of the Creative Stamping. This is their issue number 108 and has this beautiful Royal Jubilee stamp set with additional stencils. So I've decided to play up with it a little bit. I was actually planning to create some mixed media project. I had it in my mind, and then when I see this issue coming, I just thought, oh, why not combine these two ideas together and let's create a card which has a little bit mixed media vibe into it using this free gift from the magazine. I've decided to pull 3 of the Distress Oxide inks, and the one I'm using here is Fossilite Amber, Campfire, and the Seedless Preserve. And to be honest, when I grabbed these 3, I thought this is not gonna be working. I was using the yellow and the purple one before, but adding this tone of the orange, I thought, oh, this is gonna be a mess. However, my friends, I need to tell you, once I had those color mixed together and I've smooshed them on my glass mat, I was really surprised. And sometimes this is a tip for you, my friends. Just go and play with your inks, with your colors. If you're unsure whether it's gonna be working or not, um, just do it. Do not overthink, because I've noticed that the best results I am getting in my craft room is whenever I am just going with the flow and I am just creating without overthinking everything. I am having this like what is it, like a chevron or diamond pattern stamp, which was the free gift from the magazine, and I've stamped several of these. And then there is also this lovely text stamp, which is really beautiful, nice font, but I wanted to stamp it with the same purple color ink, but it was quite dark, so I've decided to actually do a second generation stamping, so it's not gonna be too dark on my card. I'm also gonna be adding a little bit of the stenciling, but before I'm gonna do that, I am making sure my card is really dry. So once I'm hitting it, I am just gently pressing it with my hands, so it's gonna be straightening it up. And then I've decided to go a little bit farther with enhancing my pattern, and I've decided to do some heat embossing first. So I'm reaching the same diamond pattern stamp set and I'm just randomly stamping it. And I wanted to add additional extra shine to my project. However, I don't want to cover too much of this pattern with the silver embossing powder. So what I'm doing instead, I'm just grabbing a pinch of the silver embossing powder and I'm just very gently sprinkling on top of the embossed images, and then I'm covering the rest with the silver with the clear embossing powder, I'm sorry. And once it will melt, you will still see those shiny silver particles, but it's not gonna be too much overtaken from the design, because this diamond pattern, they really like, it's kind of a large size stamp, so I didn't want to cover too much in silver, so I'm gonna be losing this beautiful pattern I've created. On top of this, I've decided to play a little bit with this glass paste I have from Stamperia, and this is absolutely amazing product. I just love it. It has this beautiful glass finish effect, so if you're aiming to create those like a colored glass effect, this is a perfect tool for you to go. And there's a two ways, like if you leave this paste to dry on its own, it's gonna be drying clear, but if you use some heating tool, as I'm gonna be using, it's just gonna change this color a little bit to give it a little bit extra, like a milky color finish. uh, in this stencil, which was a free gift on the magazine, there was another part of the stencil was covering this beautiful damask design, which I also wanted to use. And I've decided to go with something which I'm not using very often in my crafting. I'm usually going and aiming in my creation on this pastel color tone and vibes, and very rarely I am using those like black and white or red or any like bright colors, strong colors in my creation. But today I've decided to break the cycle and go a little bit outside of my comfort zone. So I'm doing this black and white effect with this damask stencil, and I just love it. I absolutely love the result. This gives this a little bit like a special effect to my card, and this is something that's why I love the card making, that you can do as many projects, you can do 1,000 cards, and each one of them will be different, and there's always something you can change, you can amend, and even if you play with the same supplies over and over again, you will be able to come with so many different results and final look of the card, that this is just impossible to ever get bored. I've decided to trim this panel just a little bit, so it's gonna be fitting nicely on the top of this beautiful mixed media panel I've created, and I just love the combination of those two. If you look on this colorful background, it's absolutely filled with the texture, with different colors and different finishes. There's embossing paste, embossing powder, there's this various inks and stamps on top of it, so many it's going on. And then we have this whole black and white panel with just a simpling stenciling through with the black ink. I just love it. I just love how these two combine together. There is this beautiful ornamental frame stamp amongst those stamps with this creative stamping issue, and I've decided to stamp it, but I didn't use the Distress Oxide ink. Instead of that, I switched to the Memento ink. I've chosen the matching color, so it will be going with the same color palette which I've used with the Distress ink, but the Memento inks, they are better with the stamping. They will give you a better sharp image. And then I use the same black ink, which is Onyx Black, VersaFine Onyx Black ink, to stamp my sentiment. And because I really like this frame and it's very fancy shape, I've decided to help myself using the Brothers Canon cut machine, which I have. But if you don't have the machine, you can still follow the design with your scissors and cut it around it. But because I wanted to have this beautiful nice finish, I've decided to use my Canon cut machine for that. I didn't have the time to add some additional repositional spray on my mat, and it's already loose, it's stackiness. So for that, I used the masking tape to help me hold my stamped image on the mat. And what I did, and this is a tip for everyone who is having the Brothers Canon cut machine, once you scan your stamped image, you can also set it in the memory of your machine. And then what I did, I've cut around this stamped frame, and I put another piece of the silver cardstock in this cutting mat once again. And then when I was cutting it, I used the border because you can decide whether you want to cut directly on the line, or you want to leave this 1 millimeter wide border or a thicker border. So for the stamped image, I use 1 millimeter border, and then for the silver cardstock, I use 3 millimeter border. And this way I have this perfect shadow mat for my cutted piece, which is absolutely amazing. And this is another feature which you can use your Brothers Canon cut machine. And because I have this quite thick silver frame outside this decorative frame, I've decided to create this silver framing around my decorative panel, and I'm trying to keep the same thickness between them. So once I have all my elements ready, I will be assembling this card using some double-sided adhesive and a drop of the liquid glue, which is my favorite technique to adhere elements, and this way I'm making sure that everything will stay in place, and with the double-sided tape I have this perfect edge finish, which is just looking nice and very neat. And one more thing I wanted to say to you, my friends, and next week I will have a lot of different things coming on, which I'm super happy and super excited to share with you. Starting from the Wednesday, there will be a new launch of Craftstash and Friends, which is their exclusive brand, which their latest collection was designed by me. So I hope you will join me at 6 p.m. On this coming Wednesday for my launch, which I will be holding together with the Lou Collins, and I am so super happy and excited for that I just cannot wait to share my designs with you. Another thing I wanted to tell you, my friends, that on the Thursday day after the launch, I will have the video coming on my YouTube channel, which will be a baby album I've made with the paper I've designed for Simply Cards and Papercraft magazine. So again, another thing I'm super happy and thankful, and I hope you will enjoy. This is a free download, those baby papers. So if you don't want to miss it out, definitely subscribe to my channel, and I will give you all the links to the downloads and where you can find them. And lastly, I will be having we're gonna be having another blog hop on our Sunshine team, so that will be on the coming Saturday on 7th of the May. So as you can see, it's gonna be very interesting week ahead of us, so I hope you will join me in all these videos. And as I've mentioned, I put all the panels together. I used some additional double-sided foam tape to give me a little extra dimension to my card, and I am finishing off with the silver bow just to make it matching with this mirror cardstock I've used for my card. So I hope you enjoyed this today quick inspiration, and once again, please accept my apologies for not posting this YouTube recording video, but I wanted to make it a proper way so it will be, you know, all the necessary information, and I just didn't manage to do it with this having this heavy cold and all other things. I was just like you know, taking my time. I didn't manage to do so, but the video will be coming next Friday on my channel. So I will give you a note on my Facebook page as well when the video will be available. So once again, thank you so very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this idea. I hope it sparks some joy for you to experiment with your stamps, with your supplies, and create something similar. And if you do, please don't forget to share it with me. I do have a Facebook group when you can share the cards created based upon my ideas from my YouTube tutorials. Thank you so very much for being here. I am wishing you all a fabulous day. Stay blessed, my friends, and bye bye.